So this is going to be my first training video for my Cadets Pets channel. I've been asked, well, I've had a request in actually about to prevent dogs jumping up from excitement and things when you come in and stuff. So I'm just going to walk through that. I'm using Mitzi today. She's a big dog, that's why I'm wearing a jumper. She's very, come here, come here. Now she's being very ignorant, come on. No, don't lie down, come on, come here. What's this? Come here. Good girl. Sit. 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 Good girl. Okay, so she's a very big dog. She gets very excited. She's very playful. She's a Staffordshire Bull / Rottweiler cross, so she's obviously got the playful side of the Staff Bull in her, but the heaviness of a Rottweiler. So you should never treat jumping up when people come in as a negative, because it's inbred in puppies for to like react to their pain. Look at her. Sit like a princess for. Right, come on, carry on. Okay, carry on. So you shouldn't treat it as a negative. Basically, it's puppies have it built in them to that's how they greet the mother. They jump up with the face, they lick them and things. So it's just basically they're enforcing it onto the pack leader, which would be you. So your best bet is to make sure your dog isn't feeling like it's a dominant one, because training's always a lot more difficult if the dog feels it's more dominant than you. And never ever like hit your dog, like my training methods are not like say from an RSPCA point of view. They're just my personal ways of how I find training dogs and how my methods you can adapt and use yourself. But I don't condone hitting dogs and things like that and punishing them to the extreme. I do believe in firm voice control and removal of toys and things like that. If the dog isn't behaving how it should, remove the problem from the dog instead of taking out your anger on the dog. Mitzi is currently 3 years old. The older the dog, the harder it is to break the habit, due to it's always been there. So it'll take a lot more time. Don't just think it'll happen overnight. You have to work at it, and it has to be a step-by-step of religiously doing it and never faltering once, because that's a sign of weakness and the dog will take up on that. So I'm going to show. Come here, Moo. What's this? Come here, baby. Come on down. Oh, right. Come here. Come on down. See, when the dog jumps up, do not like give the dog the attention it wants. Like if the dog starts jumping up and stuff, don't give it the actual attention. Just take the dog away and do not look it in the eyes until it actually sits. Make sure the dog sits before you give it attention. And instead of going, oh good boy or oh good girl, the dog will jump again. So your best bet is get down. Get down. Not talking to the dog. Sit. Good girl. Sit. And then getting down on the getting down on the dog's level, and then that's it. Good girl. Nah. Good girl. No. No paw. Good girl. No. Right, good girl. Another technique that I have learned, but I don't really use myself because it's putting a dog in a state of panic. It doesn't actually hurt the dog, nor does it affect the dog in any way, but it's a natural reaction for the dog to act like this. So, come here, baby. Come on, princess. The dog jumps up. A lot of people say hold the paws so they can't get away, and then they'll start to panic when they try and move away. Obviously, Mitzi's very comfortable with me, so she doesn't really panic, but most dogs is not used to being held by the paws, because we do a lot of high-five and paw with Mitzi, like, oh, she's paw, good girl. She's very used to people touching her paws, but, like, I don't advise it, because if a dog's not used to it, they will start to panic because they can't remove the legs or the paws from your hands. Always reinforce what you're saying to the dog with a treat. So if the dog reacts positively to what you're saying, give it a appraisal and give it a treat. That's all you can do. Never negative reinforcement is never a good idea, because it makes the dog far too submissive, and it can actually give the dog confidence / you know, what's that word, Mum? Confidence and what? To be scared. They basically be scared, and they may start to develop other problems like that, i.e. weeing inside from nervousness and things like that. But always enforce the dog with, like, if you're gonna discipline your dog, don't show it attention. That's the dogs thrive on attention. The pack animals, which means basically they love the attention of others and being around others. So when they're given positive appraisal, they thrive on it, whereas if you shout at them, they usually tend to become very submissive in themselves, and they don't really show the true qualities as a pet. But as you can see, Mitzi's a very comfortable dog with me, so it's kind of hard to show and like how you train her, because she's just, you know, she's trained already. Move in. Come here, princess. Come on. Yeah. Come here, princess. Come on. Come here, show them a little trick. Thank you, baby. Here's Lovin's. Good girl. Say, good girl. Alright, good girl. The licking at the face is also a trait in all dogs. It's basically scavenging for food. That is what they do when they want their mother to regurgitate for them. They'll start to lick at the face, and the mother does bring up the food for them. So it isn't really a negative trait. It's just something you need to break out of them if you don't actually like them doing it. But it's built into them as pack animals to, oh, mum's got food, let's go try and get it, and licking it. Obviously they can't communicate by talking, so movements is what they do. And I'll show you one last time how I would deal with a dog jumping up. The same goes for friends. If a friend comes in, or a family member, just a visitor in general, make sure they don't give the dog attention when the dog's actually jumped up. Make sure they make the dog sit, go down to their level, give them attention, and just keep reinforcing this, giving them a treat when they do as they're told, and whatnot. But come here, princess. Come here. As I'll show you one last time here. Come here. Come here. Good girl. Right, you just push the dog down, sit. I like to put my finger up so they know, like, that's a kind of no thing, like sit. Go down to their level. Good girl. That's it, good girl. Good girl. And then you give them a treat, because if like a visitor comes in, they'll get very confused. It's very hard for a dog to learn two different things at once. So I hope that helped. That was my technique one last time. Come here, Moo. Come here, princess. Come here. Come here, good girl. I know you want picking up. Right. Come here, good girl. Right, sit. 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 Good girl. That's a good girl. Good girl. Good. And as you can see, yeah, she's very excited right now. Good girl, good girl. Alright. Alright, princess. Go on, sit. Now, sit. Hitch, sit. Good girl. So, you're so heavy, girl. So that's how I would personally show you how to train a dog. Please don't smack your dog, nor abuse it or like, even if you think tapping them on the nose, don't ever do anything like that. That can seriously injure a dog, as the nose is the most sensitive part of their body. But that was how I personally train my dog. I hope my stuttering and stuff wasn't too much, and I hope that you can actually benefit from this. I'm out of breath now because of it. Send in some video, leave a comment or a video response or an inbox or whatever if you need something sorting out with your pet, and hopefully I can get back to you. Cheers very much.